Hey guys, it's Greg. In this video I would like to show you Eden, the new world. This is a prototype of the skirmish game, and in this prototype, in this core box, we got two factions. So this game is for 2 players if you have only one core box, but if you will get new expansions, more expansions, you can play up to 4 players. So this is a prototype, just keep this in mind. Components are not final and mechanics are not final. But if you are into skirmish games, maybe this one is going to be for you, especially that this one is set in this post-apocalyptic world. And yeah, it looks quite interesting. So just check out the rest of this video. So Eden, the new world, is on a table, so this is the cover of the box. As in every skirmish game, there's not a lot of components, because as always we have a board, we have miniatures, buildings or obstacles, some tokens, obviously dice, and cards with specifics of each character. So now let me tell you more about the game. In this core box we are going to get 2 different factions, opposing factions. So having only one core box, the game is for 2 players, but you can play even with 4 players if you have more factions. Also in this core box we have this board, and it's like ruins of city, as this game is set in this post-apocalyptic world. But for example, we also can use this different map with like wastelands or something like that. So different options are available in Eden. Now, I mentioned that we have 2 factions and some buildings or obstacles, or in general elements on a map. So maybe I will start with showing you just the miniatures, because as I said, this is one of the most important elements of the game when it comes to skirmish games, because you want to paint them and you want to have beautiful board to play on. So in here we have a lot of elements that are very post-apocalyptic. We have ruins, we have barrels and some pipes, or whatever, something like that. So I am going to show you only those 3, because we have 2 of each, so there's no point of showing all of them. And now let's go through those factions. So we have a faction of like renegades, something like that, and other are more Mad Max-ish, more or less, because for example this guy with the bow on this barrel over here, those looks a little bit different. This one looks like a shaman. So we have those 2 opposite factions, and obviously each of those factions comes with different, each of the characters in each of the factions comes with completely different skills, with different stats and so on. As in every skirmish game, also those those characters are not on the same level. Some of them are weaker, some of them are more powerful. So if you are going to have more components of this game and more miniatures, you also can use this mechanic of building the team using points, because obviously each of the characters in this game comes with different points, like a value of strength, how powerful the specific character is. So I'm going to put them randomly somewhere on the map so I can tell you more about the rest of the mechanics. So those were the miniatures, and now let's go through cards. So those are the guys from one faction, and what informations we have on those cards. First of all, those 3 spots are used to track your activation points. So each character can have 3 activation points that you can spend for actions. This is the value of this hero, this character. So as I said, they are different for each of the heroes, each of the characters. When you're going to build your team, you are going to sum this up. This crown means that this is a leader, and thanks to the leader you can play your tactic cards. I am going to show them in a second. But what else we have here? So in here we have different parts of the body, and those parts of the body are also the places where you can inflict damage, and those dots over here represents like health points of each of your body parts. So like head, arms, torso, and legs. Blue and yellow dots represents like the level of damage of this specific body part. So as long as your damage is on a white dots, you are going to use this higher value. If it's on a red, you're going to use this red value. Oh, as you can see, it's not always lower, or maybe this is a misprint. There's also blue dot. This represents an armor, and this blue dot is going to heal automatically at the end of each round of the game. On the bottom we have also different skills for each of those heroes, as again we have completely different skills for all of them, and those skills are going to be used in a different situations. So when we have a hourglass, this means this is a passive ability and it works. When we have a hand, it's like an action that you can use, and when there is this like pointing finger, like here, this is a reaction skill that you can do during reaction. And also we have those sides of dice next to each of those body parts. So in this game, every time you're going to attack your opponent, you also need to attack one of the body parts. And you're going to roll your die, and depending on a side of the die, you're going to target different body part. So the initial attack is rather random, but you also can spend your successes to change the face of the die. So even if you are going to, for example, target torso, but you want to target feet or something like that, you can change this result from 4 or 5 to 6, spending your successes during the attack roll. And this can be useful and important because the character is eliminated from the game when all dots are marked for one body part. There are also those something over here, because in this game you're going to use a marker just to mark those spots, so it's going to be easily erased. So those are the guys from one faction, and quickly I just want to give you the glimpse of the artwork for other characters, and those are like more savage faction. So those are these guys, and again they have their specific skills. As I said at the beginning, this is a prototype, so we also have this, let's say, help, but quite long help, with explanation of every skill and how much it costs. So for example, if you want to use your bow and you want to attack with the bow, you need to spend 1 action point, and you also need to have 1 ammo, and you can use your bow twice per turn, for example. So there's a lot of those elements, and they're rather common when it comes to skirmish games, so that shouldn't be surprising. We also get those tactic cards. So in this core game we have 5 for each of the factions, and you can play them at the beginning of each round, 1 card per round. This is the cost, so you need to spend your tokens to use this card, and you can play this card only when you have the leader on the map. And those cards are going to change a little bit your rules. So for example, regeneration, choose an allied figure and fully heal 1 of his limbs, or heal 1 CP in each of his limbs. CP, so like those dots. Or maybe Wild Heart, remove all status tokens from an allied fighter. Or Battle Plan, all allied fighters gain 1 psi until the end of the turn. So here we have those modifiers for one specific turn of the game. And now we also have a deck of missions, so we have 5 of them. Each of the factions is going to get 1 of those missions, and this is one of the ways of gaining victory points. So because at the end of each round you're going to count victory points depending on the rules over here. So sometimes you need to occupy specific parts of the map, so you're going to try to put your miniatures, your figures in a specific quarters of the board to gain victory points. Or maybe there is going to be like the pure source, so there's a token for that pure source of the water, and you want to occupy or defend this source of the water. So this is the one way of gaining victory points. The second way of gaining victory points is collecting collecting your resources. So each of those elements on the map are going to generate resources. So there is going to be a bag filled with tokens of items, like here we have ammo and some K, I know what is it, and we have leaves, and we have a gasoline. So different things that you can find on the wastelands. Those tokens are going to be put in a bag, and each of those locations are going to have 3 of those tokens. So if you collect those tokens, those resources, you can spend them to do different things. As I showed you, for example, you need to spend ammo to shoot your bow, so you need to scavenge those resources from the board, but also at the end of the game, set of 5 different resources is going to also give you 1 victory point, so not used resources are also valuable. And finally, you're going to get victory points for each of your standing miniatures still on a board. The game ends after 5 rounds, so during those 5 rounds you need to gather victory points to win the game. So this is the overall view of the game, and now a little bit more about mechanics. So when you play this game, as I mentioned, you have 3 action points for each of those characters. And now, when you are going to activate your hero, you are going to choose one of your heroes that were not activated yet, because each hero can be activated once per turn. So you need to choose one. And when you determine which one of your characters is going to activate, this is the moment when other players can interrupt and try to activate their own characters. So, for example, I am deciding that I want to activate this hero, and this hero comes with speed, let's say 3, because he's healthy. And now my opponent can decide that they are going to activate their own hero, that this is the only one, with higher stat of the speed, let's say. So this crazy guy, he has 4 of speed, so he's faster, and thanks to that this interruption can occur, and this crazy is going to activate and not my hero. This comes with the cost, obviously, because when you interrupt and activate your own hero, well, that hero is perceived as unactivated and it cannot be activated anymore. So this adds a little bit, a lot of strategic possibilities and changes the flow of the game drastically. So when you decide to whatever miniature is going to activate, then you have a chance to spend your points to do different things. And there are a few things that you can do in this game. So obviously you can move. You are more going to move in straight lines, and you're going to move on those dots. So those dots represent different locations where you can finish movement. When you're going to finish your movement, you shouldn't end next to other hero. You should end like with 1 space at least free between heroes. So this is the basic thing. Second thing is engagement. So this is rather complex action. It costs, I think, 2 action points, so in the end you can do it only once per activation. And this engagement comes with 3 different things. First of all, it comes with movement. So it allows you to move. Second thing, it allows you to finish your movement next to other miniature, like this. And finally, you can perform hand-to-hand attack on this opposing miniature. So this engagement is more, I think, the most complex action, because it allows you to do different things. There's also obviously the attack action that you can perform. So if you're standing next to other miniatures, so they are already engaged with each other, then you can perform up to 2 attacks. You also can try to disengage, so you're trying to escape from the fight, but it also is rather complex. You're not just going to move. You need to pass test, and if you fail, each of the miniatures that were next to you, so they were engaged with combat, so something like this, and I want to escape. If I failed, each of them are going to attack me. Obviously, they also need to spend points for doing this. And so those are the actions. And now let's go through a fight, because the battle can occur in also different situations. You can do hand-to-hand fight, so you need to stand next to each other. You can use your bow, for example, to attack your opponents, and then you need to measure the distance, because obviously this is a skirmish game, so you also need to measure the distance using those rulers to see if you are in the distance that you can cover, and if there is obviously the line of sight can be obstructed by the terrains on a board. So those are rather known mechanics from basically every skirmish game on the market. And now how the fight works. So when you're going to fight hand-to-hand, you're going to test different things. When you're going to perform a regular attack, you're going to test your might. So you're going, depending on the colors. So let's use the white ones. You're going to test your strength, and this is those hands. And the threshold is the value of your opponent of the torso, so it's his vitality, let's say. So if I am attacking with this guy, I'm going to throw 4 dice, and the threshold of winning is 3. So at least 3 on my dice should only 3 on my dice are 3 or more are perceived as successes. And finally, you also need to roll a die to determine which body part you're going to attack. So you are comparing, this is your threshold of winning the fight, I mean gaining the victory successes, but which of those elements you're going to attack depends on another roll determining the body part. And this is the moment when you can change the result, spending those successes to attack different body parts, and so thanks to that you can cripple one of these body parts faster. So this is like basics of the attack, and this attack also can happen in 3 different ways, because first thing, well, the opponent is doing nothing and you're attacking and that's it, but also the opponent can try to do counter attack, and when it happens, this opponent also need to have action points to spend to perform this counter attack, and again you're going to test your speed to determine who is going to attack first, and thanks to that this other character can also attack the person that is attacking at the beginning. And finally, you also can dodge. Again, you need to spend action points, perform tests, and you can dodge those hits. So the attack is performed, and you are only going to dodge them, spending your victory successes on your vitality tests. Not vitality, but your speed tests. So those are the basics of the fight. A part of hand-to-hand and ranged attack, you also can throw things, or you use your blast attack, so different types of attacks, but in the end those are working quite similarly. So at the end, let's just say how the game round is structured. So at the beginning you're going to determine the first player, then you're going to play those tactic cards, spending your points to as a cost. Then after that, this is the window when every character is going, and every player is going to activate their characters using those interruptions and so on. And this activation phase is going to be played as long as any character on the board still wasn't activated. After activation phase, we have command phase. So this is the moment when every character standing next to terrains, this is the moment when those characters are going to gather those tokens, those resources that are generated or placed on next to those terrains. So remember, 3 of them. And when the pool of those tokens from the back is depleted, no more token is going to be added to the game. So this is also a limited resource. So after resources, each of the blue dots, so those armors, are going to be healed, repaired, and every action points are going to be restored. Every effects are going to be now like used or launched. So we have burn token, fear token, poison, rage, and slowing, different effects that can inflict, you can inflict and modify how your opponent's miniatures are going to play. And end of the round, so you're going to calculate your victory points by checking how many goals from your mission you completed. And after 5th round, you're also going to add the victory points from tokens you have and miniatures on the board, and the player with the most victory points is the winner. So this is it. This is Eden, the new world, a skirmish game set in a post-apocalyptic world. So if you like skirmish games, check out the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.